We talked a little bit about this earlier, but I was one of the co-chairs on the stem cell campaign, and it was 2008, which was the same year that we did the medical marijuana. And I was a big proponent of supporting medical marijuana as well, because we saw that even then, that had my mom's brain cancer, and she had some ability to treat with medical marijuana, it would have helped with her appetite, maybe even retarded the growth of the tumors. But anyway, I thought it was the right thing to do, and I was glad when this state overwhelmingly supported both, but even more so on the medical marijuana. What I was so furious about was that Mike Cox at the time had no interest in promulgating rules and making it workable. And then Bill Schuette, who's now our Attorney General, ran the campaign against medical marijuana and has done everything he can to make it, not workable, and it's created a real problem for patients in getting access. So the thought that Bill Schuette could be our next governor scares the bejesus out of me, because I think he's a terrible lawyer, much less policymaker. I'm glad he's a terrible lawyer. I'm glad he loses all the time when he goes to waste our taxpayer dollars and embarrasses us all. But I'm glad he wasn't successful on marriage equality and other pet projects he's championed. But all of that being said, yes, I would support legalization. I would also support regulating and taxing it too. So. We need a system that works, and the one we've got isn't for a lot of people, for all the wrong reasons. So. Yes, through the door.
There are seats up here if you want.
We have a few seats.
Come on in. I'm English, and we have a very, like Canada, we have a fantastic health program, which is funded through everyone paying a tax. And my belief is that it actually helps small businesses to take away the burden of them having to fund healthcare. Would you sponsor or support Michigan having its own healthcare program? If ACA is repealed, if Trump care can't be pushed through, can Michigan, similar to maybe New York or California, who are considering these measures, have its own health program, which is funded through Michigan residents and industry? Have you thought about something like that?
I haven't put a lot of thought into that specifically, but I do know that it's been successful, and that's something definitely worth thinking about. Yeah.
I think you may find that there is this, I believe there's a growing number of people who are very realizing what they have with ACA. And they're also now realizing a lot of industry, a lot of businessmen will actually say, hey, I don't have to worry about getting health insurance for my employees. I want to run a business. Perhaps I know a lot about steel or about software. I don't know much about health insurance. Why should I have to worry about that? I think if we could explain that to the business industry, who's maybe typically more Republican, they may see that as a way to alleviate a burden on them.
Well, Massachusetts has lobby here.
Right, which is
it'd be nice if business actually led a discussion on that, because I do think you're right that a lot of business would be relieved at not having to, have.
Yeah.
When we had the rape insurance debate, I know, I see somebody going, what is she talking about? So, the Republicans pushed through legislation to require that women pre-purchase abortion riders in addition to their insurance. So you need to pre-plan for an unplanned pregnancy, which makes all the sense in the world, right? But anyway, the conversation was, a lot of people in the business community were really upset that lawmakers were starting to tinker and say that they couldn't do certain things because they don't want to have those conversations with their employers. That if they're better off knowing that it's there and not having to discuss that. So I think you raised an interesting issue. It'd be nice if the business community would start that conversation, particularly with the crew that's in charge right now.
So we have time.
All the way from England and through the door. Thank you.
Gretchen, I know you have to go at 8. Is there time for a couple more or one
Sure.
more?
Let's do 2 more.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Mine is a bit off topic, but since you've been there, how do you feel about term limits?
Oh gosh, term limits are terrible. The best term limit is an election, I've always thought. Yeah. Governor Milliken gave a speech up on Mackinac